Okay, let's practice some coin problems. This video might be a little long because I'm just going to do a bunch of coin problems that we run through together. So at any point, if you feel like you get them and you're ready to move on, then just stop it and move on, okay? So I am looking at the coin practice problems in the stream of the Algebra 1 Google Classroom. So if you want to pause and pull those up, go for it. I'm going to start with number 2 because we did number 1 together on Wednesday. Number 2, a girl has 2 more nickels than dimes and 3 more quarters than nickels, having in all $3.35. How many coins of each kind does she have? So let's see, I'm looking at number 2. I'm going to start with n equals n, right? So n nickels, we're going to call n. We need to find out what dimes we're going to call dimes and what we're going to call quarters. So it says she has 2 more nickels than dimes. So it sounds like she's got dimes plus 2 nickels, right? So dimes, 2 more nickels than dimes, so n minus 2 equals the number of dimes. And we can check that, right? If she has 8 nickels, she's got 6 dimes. If she's got 10 nickels, she's got 8 dimes. Does that make sense? So, and 3 more quarters than nickels. So it sounds like she's got 3 more quarters, so n plus 3 tells us how many quarters she's got. In total, $3.35. So let's see here. So I've got 0.05n, so the value of nickels times the number of nickels, plus the value of dimes times the number of dimes, plus the value of quarters times the number of quarters, gives me 335 altogether. Right? I'm just checking. 335. Okay. But I don't know how to solve an equation with nickel, with n and d and q, so I'm going to substitute. I'm going to take n minus 2 and stick it where the d is, because d, we're going to call n minus 2. And I'm going to take n plus 3, and I'm going to plug it in where the q is, because q we're going to name n plus 3 for this problem. All right, great. So let me write this out. 0.05n plus 0.1 times n minus 2 plus 0.25 times n plus 3 equals 3.35, or $3.35. Okay, so it looks to me like we need to do some distribution here. So I'm going to keep my 0.05n plus, now I'm going to take this 0.1 and I'm going to distribute it to the n and the negative 2, plus 0.1n, 0.1 times n is 0.1n, positive 0.1 times negative 2 is negative 0.2, right? Now I've got positive 0.25 times n, so plus 0.25n. Notice I always put my zeros in there, right, to show my decimal point really clearly. Okay, so I did that distribution. Now I need to distribute to the 3. So this is plus 0.75 equals 3.35. Woo! Now we got a lot to put together. No big deal. You know how to do this if they're plain numbers, so let's do it with decimals. I'm going to find all the n's and put them together. I'm going to keep their signs with their numbers. Okay, so it looks like I have 0.05n plus 0.1n plus 0.25n. So I'm going to put these two together. Let's say I have 0.25 plus 0.05, that's 0.3 plus 0.1. So I have 0.04, 0.4n. So negative 0.2 and positive 0.75 would be plus 0.55 equals 3.35. Following? So Pause if you need to follow along. Pause the video anywhere you need to and go back and be writing this as we go. Don't just follow along. Actually do the problem. Write the steps. Compare with my work here. And your goal is to understand where every piece of this came from and how we're doing it. Okay? So let's see. So minus 0.55, right? Minus 0.55. Sorry, my writing just didn't go very well there. Minus 0.55, minus 0.55. Right, so these are going to cancel. I have 0.4n equals, what is this? So 280. Did I do that right? If we borrow, yep, 5 minus 5 is 0, 13 minus 5 is 8, and then a 2. Great. Okay, I'm going to take this up here because I ran out of space. I have 0.4n equals $2.80. Let's make sure that you can see that really clearly. All right, so 0.4. If this were 5n equals, we would divide both sides by 5, but it's 0.4. So let's divide both sides by 0.4. Divide by 0.4, right? Those cancel, so I have n equals, this looks like 7, right? So $2.80 divided by 40 cents is 7. So n equals 7. So now I'm going to take this n equals 7, and I'm going to walk it over to the d, right? d equals n minus 2. So d equals 5. And q is n plus 3, right? Quarters is the number of nickels plus 3. So quarters equals 7 plus 3 is 10. Does that make sense? So we started out and we made a relationship between the number of nickels and dimes and quarters. And I wrote it down on my whiteboard here. You write it down on your paper. Then I wrote a value equation. This is my value equation right here, where I used nickels, quarters, and dimes just to help me see and understand that this is the value of the nickels times the number of the nickels plus the value of the dimes times the number of dimes. This is just exactly how we count money in our pocket, right? Dump out a bunch of coins, put the dimes in a pile, put the nickels in the pile, count them out. You multiply that by 10 cents. Put the number of nickels in a pile, count them out, multiply by 5 cents. Add them up and you get a certain dollar amount. Then we did some algebra with it where we plugged in these n minus 2 and n plus 3 where the d and the q were, distribute, combine like terms down to here, and then just because they're decimals doesn't mean it's any different. Subtract the number to the other side, right? So I have just the n's alone, divide both sides by n's coefficient, and I get an answer. Okay? So we're going to pause there, and I'll make a second video with another kind of coin problem. Good luck.